So I was born in a very small town in southwestern Wisconsin, Boscobel, Wisconsin, to Lloyd and Sharon Bender. Really blessed to have parents like I did. Unfortunately, my mom passed away when I was just a young fourth grader. My father had provided an opportunity for my Aunt Shirley to move into our house. My mom on her deathbed had asked her to take care of Richie. I was an only child, and in junior high my dad found the second love of his life, my stepmom, Martha Bender. I was brought into a family of 5 other stepbrothers and sisters who were really influential in the formation of my life. I had the opportunity to participate in a lot of sports just simply because I needed to participate, so we had enough to have programs. I was introduced at a very young age to wrestling. I was also a football player and actually played baseball for a couple of years in college. I was incredibly fortunate to be offered an internship with USA Wrestling in 1988 by Ben Bennett, and Toby Stewart picked me out of a stack of resumes from the United States Olympic and Paralympic Committee, and ultimately Dave Miller provided me with the opportunity to be an intern at USA Wrestling, and that's what gave me my start. I've had the opportunity to be involved with many different wrestling events like the World Cup, the Junior Nationals, the Olympic Trials. The 1995 World Freestyle Championships and the 1996 Olympic Games really provided me with the opportunity to form a foundation of leadership within the sport of wrestling. The success that we had not only competitively as a team in 1995 and 96, but from a political standpoint, we created a great deal of political capital that we still trade on today. I've had so many significant role models in my life, people that have poured into me and given me the support and helped me create the foundation to be a leader within USA Wrestling and the sport.
His ethic, moral compass is to where he makes the good decisions to grow the sport of wrestling. And I think his selflessness, his integrity is what really shines.
When Jim left and went to the USOC, he left a void, and Rich stepped right in, filled it. USA Wrestling has continued to grow, to be financially stable, even through the rough times. Wrestling has never been stronger, and Rich is a big part of that.
We've had a lot of highlights during my career at USA Wrestling. Growth of women's wrestling, the inspiration that they provide. I've said many times that once you've wrestled, you're better for it, period. There's no exception.
Rich Bender has been a transformational leader, not just in wrestling, but in all sports. He's kicked open the doors of opportunity for girls and women on the wrestling mat with a vision and a strategy for inclusion.
The team championships that we've been blessed to win, seeing young athletes achieve at the very highest level, athletes like Henry Cejudo, Kyle Snyder, Amit Allure, Adeline Gray, athletes that win when no one expects them to win at such a young age has been a highlight of my career and something that I will take with me forever. We faced many challenges during my career at USA Wrestling, none more significant than the loss of Dave Schultz or the idea that wrestling be removed from the Olympic program. Without question, the thing that saved the sport was the reaction that we had to the challenge. And that wasn't to fight, to punch somebody in the face or threaten to sue. The idea that we developed a program that we would ultimately make the International Olympic Committee look good, changing our sport, making some fundamental adjustments to wrestling has served us well. And I think ultimately one of our darkest days became one of our brightest moments.
We started to collaborate closely in 2013 when his contribution and US Wrestling contribution for the reproduction of Olympic wrestling on the Olympic program was huge. Since then, I saw him building a healthy entourage for US wrestlers.
It's really important that we maintain a financial ecosystem for the sport of wrestling, a connection with donors, sponsors. At USA Wrestling, our membership is really the lifeblood of USA Wrestling. It's the most significant resource that we are entrusted with. More than half of our budget comes from membership and participation of youth in our sport. Those resources are then distributed to elite athletes, invested in the promotion and the marketing of the sport, creation of events, and really focused on providing opportunity for America's youth to participate in the greatest sport man has ever known.
Watching USA Wrestling grow under your leadership has been really cool, man. I know that sometimes you guys can get a bad rap as leadership, but I've watched you completely invest your life into elevating this program for equity, equality for women's wrestling and Greco, watching us elevate our brands and bringing this thing back to its golden ages.
I've been given the opportunity in the past to serve as the chairman of the national governing body of the United States Olympic and Paralympic Committee, the organization that makes up the 50 national governing bodies that make up the U.S. Olympic movement. It gives me the opportunity to see the good and the bad of the Olympic movement, to take good from other organizations that have found success in their strategies and programs, and stay away from maybe some of the not so good things that other national governing bodies have experienced. What I've learned from wrestling is the sport will expose you. It exposes your investment in it, and when you work hard, good things happen. When you don't make the effort that you should, you're exposed and not so good things happen. Wrestling's a hard sport, and today's societal values don't always match up with things that are difficult. So we will continue to be focused and strive to make wrestling relevant in this environment. My life's greatest accomplishment is the Rich and Michelle Bender family, led by my beautiful wife, Michelle, my oldest daughter, Madeline, my middle daughter, Chloe, and my youngest daughter, Gabriella, and my son-in-law, Reed. There's nothing more important in my life than my faith in my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, the author and the perfecter of my faith. It's through Him all things are possible. And I am a living example of God's grace. No way should a young man from southwestern Wisconsin with limited wrestling abilities be given the opportunity to lead the greatest national governing body on planet Earth. Being inducted into the National Wrestling Hall of Fame is nothing I could ever have dreamed of. I don't deserve it, but I accept it on behalf of the thousands of people that have poured into me and USA Wrestling during my career to make the sport great.